Oh yeah, sorry guys. Today there's no video because there's nowhere to put the camera. Yeah, and that's ASMR from Justin's mouth, straight up from Justin's mouth.
Oh no, we gangster sound baby. This time. Scratch the dude, floor the dude, Monday.
Yeah, so guys, this is
안녕하세요, I'm Durraca.
Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to 20 Minutes Tea with Preppy Asher. Today I'm joined with Justin and Durraca. Hello.
Hey to, hello.
Scratch the dude.
Clayton can't really join us. Clayton can't really join us today. Because he has some urgent business. So okay, at 20 Minutes Tea we talk about big brain stuff under 20 minutes under the topics of adulting and passioning. Adulting as in like our transitions from young adult to adult, and then after that about passioning about design stuff and like things like that. I sometimes bring on my friends from school and from like people I know, and then after that I really want to include them because they have a very interesting perspective. So yeah, in this episode, what did we talk about, Durraca?
What did we talk about?
Okay, this episode we talked about our year one experiences. I think more like Justin's and my year one experience. How drama it was. Durraca was a more
Passive listener. Like interesting.
yeah. No, but we all fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and anyway, so we talk about that in this episode. I felt like this episode we really talked about the interesting points where we grew a lot, how interesting and confused we were in figuring out year one. Year one tends to be a more dramatic kind of year. So, but it's a good thing also because then after that we get to find ourselves and our own identities as we also transition into year two, and then from there on out. So I guess the point I think what we can learn from today's podcast is that you can go through a dramatic time or an unpleasant or undesirable experience, but if you are sensitive enough, like or if you're analytical enough, like Justin, you are able to also use that as a building block into improving your own character and your own identity and finding your own self. And the more you find yourself in this episode, we conclude with the thought that after you find your own identity, you're able to have a more stable environment as you also project more stable vibes. So yeah, stay tuned for today's episode of 20 Minute Tea. This is the last episode. We might do a little encore kind of episode 5.5 or something like that. Justin just came back with his ice cream. So yeah, stay tuned. Oh yeah, and today we are at where are we at? We are
Well Smooch.
And today we are at Well Smooch. Thank you guys so much guys at Well Smooch. They do rice ice cream. Vegan ice cream. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and tuning into the last episode of 20 Minute Tea. Let's get into the episode. I'm joined together with Justin and Durraca.
Hello.
Justin is on my left and then Durraca's on my right. So today Clayton can't really join us today because he has some urgent matters to handle. So I don't know, I feel it's going to be like a really, really interesting and different final episode. This is episode 5, the end of 20 Minute Tea season 1. Why are you celebrating? You're supposed to be like, aww. To be honest, Durraca, have you even watched?
I watched the first episode.
And then you stopped. Justin, how many do you actually watch? Really?
I listen at work.
Wow! Oh, a fan!
But I listen to so many podcasts.
Really? you know he didn't even know that I had a podcast until I met him like at episode. No. The day that we were filming episode 4, which was last week. Yeah, he only found out last week, and we already done 4 episodes already, and then he was like,
This is how you show support to your friends.
that's why, are we even friends? Durraca with his e-boy voice. No, it's chill. We're trying to warm up. We're just trying to warm up to the whole thing.
Yeah.
What kind of laugh is that, Justin?
Durraca e-boy lah.
I'm not an e-boy.
Yes, you are. You're wearing a cap.
Yeah, no, he's just missing the earring and the turtleneck and then the necklace and the chains. Actually, everything lah except.
The awkward persona.
What?
The awkward public persona of an e-boy.
I'm not awkward.
No, you know he does the hand thing on his face. Okay, why I think this podcast is very, very interesting, right? It's because, right, for me, right, in year one, I felt like Justin was the guy that was always like bitching about me. And it was, and then now we're friends,
I clearly made a point whereby if anybody tells me something they don't like about you,
right?
If something I'm not happy about you, if you ask me, I'll definitely tell you.
Right. And that's how we also like built our own friendship. Also now, and then now we are at this stage in like year 3, and then after that, it's very, very. I feel like this is a very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. What
the?
You just snorted up that dust like cocaine, meth. Yeah, so I think this is a very interesting podcast to have. So I think what can we talk about is that, like, how do you think people evolve over a certain period of time?
Evolve in a certain environment that they're in. It's
Right. What's your take on that?
Is for example, like if a certain person is in a very spoiled household, and then when they move out, right, they will behave as if like everybody owes them something.
Right. Oh, like we know somebody who's like that. Do we?
Then it takes a certain amount of time for that person to get used to it. Right? Depends. At the same time, it also depends on the person how long they take to mature.
Right.
If they take super long, that's their own problem already. It's the very simple way to like adapt to society, right? Or a different type of environment, right, is to be able to accept change,
right,
and not be so like
rigid,
narrow-minded.
Right.
That's the easiest way.
Because like there was I can remember like quite a few times, a few sessions with like Justin, like during our overnighting sessions, right? Then I'll be like, Justin, like what is something I can improve, or like what is something that what did I ask?
Why do people don't like me?
What? Ouch!
It's like when you think you got a problem,
Yeah.
Justin.
Why everybody have a problem? Why does everybody have a problem with me?
Yeah.
Don't be gay. It's a simple thing.
Did anyone have a problem with you?
Me?
Yeah.
Definitely a few.
Yeah, it's natural.
It's
Okay,
like,
right.
you know, when I was in secondary school, maybe early days of secondary school, I used to be very, very short-tempered. I used to blow up very easily, like super easily over the most minor shit.
Yeah.
Because it was in primary school, right?
Yeah.
Whereby I was like the center of attention.
Right?
Then after that, you can say that. Then after that, when you go to secondary school, right, sec 1, sec 2, everybody's like, oh, this guy very cool. Right? All of a sudden, right, halfway through sec 2, right, everybody start not giving a shit about you. And that's when you realize, right, you don't
matter.
So it was like it took me quite a while to realize. I think it was at the end of sec 3. I realized you don't need that much friends.
Right.
You don't need a crowd around you. The most important thing is that have those people that you go to. That's
right.
When I hit like sec 4, I only just like close to that one group of friends. I really don't give a shit about other people's problems.
Right.
Then when it comes to poly, right? The poly, then after that, because in secondary school, it's just like the guys do their own things, the girls do their own things. Then you come in poly, everybody mix around, right? That's a new drama starts. Then you have to change to certain things. And then when I was in year 1, I had a difficult time to change, to adapt to it, right? Because the time I was
what was difficult? What was difficult?
I don't know. I think that was everything in general.
What was different?
A lot to take in. You know, if you like change to another course, right, then maybe a less load than all this, you won't have much because there's like almost like secondary school, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to design course, everybody spends like most of the time together,
right?
So it's like you have to find your own clique within inside there, and it's not easy to find a new clique in secondary school, in poly, because it's not like it doesn't fit that well. Like, as in secondary school doesn't relate much to a poly environment because the poly environment is in a way much more political.
Right. That's why poly lah.
Yeah, and in secondary school, right, people usually fight over those childish reasons.
Right.
Or
like girlfriend, boyfriend, or like.
Together, you like shit talk. You know this guy. Okay, we need friends. Right? Then I was like that in year 1.
Right.
So I'm like, shit, I don't like this guy. Then I group this person. Then I shit, I don't like the other guy. Then I group this person.
Right.
Then after a while, right, I'll be like, what am I doing?
Right.
It took a while for me to realize. Then
so this is Justin's story of his growth in year 1. This is interesting.
Origins of the legend.
Starts all over again.
Earlier on, I had self-esteem issues. Right. Then after a while, I just realized that you shouldn't give a shit about what other people think about you.
Right.
And like, don't be scared to say what you say. Like, if there's a personality, so be it. If other people can't accept it, that's the issue. They can't adapt to change. Right?
Yeah. And then after that, there was this guy on the side also just effing up and then being very confused along the way. Just me lah.
I don't disagree.
So okay, tell me more. Like so this was after like throughout year one that you were just trying to figure out your own identity again. Right? I think it's an identity thing.
Because it's like you're trying to find a way to fit in a more diverse society compared to secondary school.
Right. And for me that change is also a unique one because I came from a homeschool environment which is very, very like sheltered or like very, very there's a certain like way of doing things that I've actually been doing for like the past 17 years of my life. And then after that, trying to have to like adapt to I think the biggest thing for me when I was changing was I was very not used to the whole fact that people socialize around shit talking lah. Really. And this was something that I told Justin before. Like, I was very, very not used to like how the way that people like, actually bond is about talking bad about people. Which I think it is a natural thing that actually does happen, that you have to accept that people actually bond over like negative things, but that also it does also even out, I think, after into year 2 when we also start to like realize that hey, this is it's more divisive and negative, and that's not the environment that we want to live in.
The sad thing is some people haven't realized that.
Right. Like
I just say that some people haven't realized that because if I say right, there's no point in me saying because you say that about me. Why am I like that?
And then after that you just start a whole trend of negativity again.
To be open-minded and to have a certain level of maturity. People cannot tell you how to do it or what to do.
I think right, people cheat themselves of a very, very professional environment, which was something that I was actually trying to watch. It was something since year one that I always like had that. And that's why that also put people off because like you're so.
Actually, your issue was very simple.
What was my issue?
Actually, very simple.
What?
Is that you always try to implement your way of life to other people. That's the most simple way to explain it. That's what I've been telling you.
Too idealistic. I'm still learning.
Justin, I know actually more than you.
That's right.
I pay attention to people way
yes,
too much.
He does. He obsesses over people that he doesn't like.
I don't give a shit about a lot of people. Like I look like I don't do that, but I'm judging people every time.
No, but I guess that's also a very, very analytical kind of. And then after you also apply those lessons about them into your own life. That I don't like that about them. I'm not gonna do that. And then you're like, that's what I like about Justin because he also does like breakdown. I remember I had one a session with Justin. Like we were working on 3D Max, and then after that he was sitting right behind me. Remember that night? And I was like, Justin, like how's things going and like how are we like? What's our vibe now lah? And then after that he also did share with me, and then he was like, hey, and then he say certain things that are like, wow, that's actually quite true.
It's a very simple reason that. Like if you live your life right where you are always angry at people,
right?
This person like
very negative,
make you pissed off, then you like I hold a grudge against the person, then you make you look very like a big shot, then,
right?
It's
that doesn't do anything to yourself.
It's not a nice feeling. It's like you go into class and be like, wow, this person, you like angry. The thing is right, you should not care.
Right.
Just don't care. If, for example, like I always say this thing like.
I can remember Justin saying that you should not care.
I always say this thing whereby
says that.
I don't care like how I don't hate people for who they are, but I hate people for what they do.
Right.
It's like you do this to me, of course I don't understand you, but it's a very simple reason why it's like you say sorry, you know your mistake, it's fine, anything, just move on, whatever. It's like better than just saying, oh shit, this guy again, or that guy again.
Damn.
Comparing to like other people that I've met also in their own or the other courses also, that their environment is also very, very competitive. And then let's talk about SD, like because we're all from SD, right? And then what do you like about our current state of the course?
The good thing about SD, right, is that
our batch.
The good thing about SD, right, there's always group of people inside SD. When trouble comes up, they'll always be there to try to solve the issue.
Right.
Within these two people, if they quarrel, then there'll be people that step in trying to solve the issue.
Right.
I maybe name something. Some people, maybe like people like Ashman.
Ashman, shut up.
If you see something, it's like you don't want the negativity to affect the entire course. It's like the lecturer says we are technically the best.
Ayo, cannot say that.
No, it's a serious thing. If people compliment you, take the compliment, proud of it. Don't be like. It's not a comparison.
It's not a competition, you know.
It's a learning point.
Yes.
You know where you stand among people and what you're doing good. So, and if other people are offended by it, that's their problem.
Right.
You should learn from what you're doing good. Change that.
And not the negative thing. You don't like this, don't like this.
Like, what's so good about this batch, right, is that we are all very bonded with each other, and there's no like segregation between class 1, class 2, class 3.
Right. And it was also due to the way that they ran our batch, because the way they ran our batch was, if you guys don't know, is that we had like 3 sessions every week to be all together. First, Monday and Thursday is our studio, is one of the main modules, and then after that we'll meet like it'll be an open door studio. So the way our studio is there's like a huge room, and then after that there are glass divider. So when it's on Monday and Thursday, then we'll open all the glasses, and everybody will interact. We'll just stop together and look at each other's work. Then after that, another day will be Wayne's model making. Don't touch Durraca. And then after that we'll interact on all those, and then after that the biggest kind of bonding experience for all of us was making that mega model at the back of the lift, that one.
That's the opportunity we had that maybe you can say some other courses might not
didn't get to have.
And it's like there's certain courses, right? Okay, the good thing about a course, right, is that people have their own maturity to a certain standard.
Right.
To a certain extent, and it's not a very low extent, but it's quite a high extent.
Right.
Everybody understands if this person says sorry, fine.
Right.
You don't get pissed off over like small matter.
Right.
Like, when this thing disappear, that thing disappear. Like maybe friendly banter is definitely fine. You want to maybe just joke around, get fake pissed off. It's fine. But you don't like really
actually escalate.
Crazy about it. People about it. Like, there's a certain group of people I know from a certain course. I don't know names. I know filter here because it's like. If there's something wrong, you say it. If they can't take it, that's their own problem. They're not mature enough to take it.
I think it's also very natural for design courses to have also a certain amount of drama, because I feel like in the design industry you have also to be very connected to yourself as an individual, to really understand yourself, to be able to also create works that are empathetic. Empathetic in the sense that you know yourself, then if you understand yourself, the way you work, the way you approach the world, then after that you also know how to also invoke or provoke certain feelings in other people. And that's why we also design courses tend to have a little bit more drama. But what I like about our batch is that we also have that sense of
mutual understanding
and also sense of personal identity. I think it's the individuals with a little bit more confusion in their own identity that tend to have a little bit more trouble trying to navigate the whole environment. And I really am very, very thankful that like a majority of our batch has that certain sense of identity. And also for me, also throughout the studio experience, it also has helped me to uncover a lot about myself. And I felt like in year 2, Sem 1 was a time that I really connected with my emotional side, to really feel myself, or like really, yeah, you know what I mean. Why are you laughing?
I like how in SD our batch,
finally say something.
There's like not much barrier between people.
Right.
Then it's like when you want to share something, and then you don't feel like that restriction or any
Well, you guys remember this thing that I used to do? I was talking to Zakia and Janelle the other day. Oh, it was the last day. It was the last submission. Remember the last submission was like Architectonics, the zine. So we went to print together, and after that Zakia showed up, and then I was printing together with Janelle. There's no like anything about that, but and then after that Zakia pulled up a memory about like, oh, remember Asher when he was like, and then you know what she said? She's like, remember in studio, right, last time, where we will present all our works on the table. So Larry, Sean and Wayne will come up, and then after that they will ask us, okay, so this is the time for grading, everybody place your works onto the table. Then after that I'll walk around, right, and then after that I will judge everybody's work, which is so disgusting, you know. I was like, what was I like?
You can judge.
No, just what did I do? What did I do last time?
The last time?
Yeah, last time, year 1.
the one that you pissed people off?
Yeah. Just say it.
You went to people's model, and it's like, hey, why is this so small?
Oh no!
It's fine.
Yikes.
It's fine to be a critic.
Right.
It's always fine.
No,
to
but
do
I
that.
don't have any rapport or like any degree of like authority at all to say anything like that.
In the design industry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the lectures made it clear to us. There's no really a hierarchy.
Yes.
Everybody is equal.
Yes.
It's just that who is more sensitive and who is able to think
Yes.
more, right? And then it's like you can critique about other people's work, but
Right.
the problem is that you always critique about the negative stuff. You never talk about the good stuff. And
Right,
it's
right.
like you don't.
And I didn't frame it well, and it just didn't swallow down well at all.
Yeah.
And I think it was because at that time, right, after coming out of homeschool, right, I there was a part of me that also I felt like a certain amount of pride because I was a photographer and everything in the past, right? I did more of this kind of thing, and I didn't like I thought of myself higher than everybody else.
Ego.
Yes, it was ego, and then after that, I thought like I had the authority to like tell people, oh, you did this good, oh, you did that bad, and it's like that was
At the same time,
a very that was a disgusting point of time.
Like, design philosophy
It's different.
So you
Yeah,
can't really.
right. And which is something that I find that I hope I'm doing better now. Like I still do walk around like all the classes and look at everybody's work,
I
but
just keep on negative.
I keep it to myself. But then after that, I also do pull out the stuff that I like. Like because of Larry's mentality and stuff like that. He's able to see the really good points, and I feel that positive mindset and the ability to also draw out certain correct perspective, right, is so much more empowering and positive.
Survive for what 2-3 years. So what do you want to tell the year ones?
For my side, I was also trying to figure out a lot of stuff, changing the whole environment, really trying to get up to speed on the way that this bunch of, because for me, right, if you want to know, I used to interact a lot more with adults.
Yeah.
The adults are more, I feel like, more stable in their own identity, and they have more they're more predictable, and I didn't have to do so much guesswork because I didn't go through the same experience as you guys, because like it came from a lot of like would you say like more hormonal as a more like feisty lah. And then after that I came from a more stable environment, and then it when I came in with that kind of like force, which was uncalled for anyway, I didn't understand when people just like put up walls against me, and I was like, wait, why? Yeah.
It's a certain way whereby each person has their certain type of friends that they want.
Right.
And if it doesn't click, it doesn't click.
Right.
Like for example, for me, if I don't like this person, I don't like that person. If I don't
Right.
like to be around that person, I don't like the way the vibes or something. It's no offense to them. It's my own
Right.
opinion.
Yes.
I don't like it. So
Right.
find my
Right.
me. And then it's like I do my own thing, you do your own thing. I don't give you shit for that.
Right. And I think also that's also a really big lesson to learn also, because for me, I'm a very, very extroverted individual, and I always like to make friends with a lot of people, but sometimes it also like just cannot click. And that's why I tell myself also sometimes is that like it's fine, I don't have to be friends with everybody, and it doesn't, just do your own thing,
Yeah.
and eventually something will in some way like you'll be able to click with somebody else.
Yeah.
And you will still have a certain set of friends that will love you or appreciate you for who you are.
Okay.
No. But there will be a certain group of people that will also still value you for who you are. And you just got to be patient and just got to be yourself, And that's when, and that's what I felt like when I started to be more of myself, that I also started to also attract a certain type of friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think again it also applies to like other things like relationships and stuff like that. Like a lot of times like people also like get into relationships because they like the facade of the person, but not the true identity. And then sometimes when the facade leaves, then after that they are left with somebody that is a stranger to them. And for me, I believe that individuals should work on themselves and work on their own identity first before putting themselves out there, so that they will attract the person that is truly attracted to their identity.
Yeah.
What's your take, Justin? You have the girlfriend out of the three of us. What's up, Maya? That's how she does.
The brain just shifty, bro. Tell her.
Wait, so what are you asking me?
I think what we're looking at today is about finding identity. When you find your own identity, right, you start to also create stability in your environment. I think it's a big part, right, as we also grow up. This whole podcast is about like growing up, and it's about trying to really find yourself.
Okay, the most simple way, the most simple thing that you should tell yourself that if you want to find your own identity, with everybody has to do it at a certain time. It's just it comes together when you find identity. It comes with maturity as well.
Right.
And the way you find identity, right, is by the simple rule whereby don't do things to please other people, but to please yourself.
Right. But it's true. It's true. It's true.
My advice for year ones, right, is like just be yourself.
That's very big.
That's right.
It's very big, but not like put on any facades.
Right.
And try to interact with as many people as possible, so that you can like get as much perspective and feel everyone up, not in a weird way. So
I think
so that you can like kind of see what is like you can see like if someone is doing like something wrong or something right, then based on your own personality, then try to like catch off points that maybe you want in your own character as well.
Right.
And that's how you like really improve yourself by bouncing off people.
Right. And I really like that point from that was made by Durraca, because I feel like friends, right? The more a variety of friends that you have within your life, I really especially felt this, especially when you really have a certain amount of friends that you are able to riff off and talk to, right? You also gain a better perspective of yourself. When I was talking to Justin, right, in year one, and after that, I started to get a reflection of myself, another outside perspective.
Right.
And then after that, that was when I was able to improve. And then I talked to my mom, and then she gave me a better point. And I talked to Simran, I talked to Durraca, I talked to Ashman, I talked to Weita even, and then after that we just chat, and then after that talk to Clayton, and then when we chat, and then after that you start to reflect a lot more, and then the more reflections you have of yourself, you're able to become better. I think this is an interesting point, because manipulative relationships, right, cut an individual off. Like, let's say it's a guy and a girl, right? The guy like cuts off the girl from all the relationships around them and the friendships around them, or the girl cuts the guy off from all the relationships around them. You know what I mean? And then that's when the truth, right, of themselves or their situation, it also gets hidden in that whole thing, and then after that they are stuck in this lie or whatever tanglement or stuff that they have around them.
Right. They stop to like improve.
Right, yeah, they can't grow.
Stagnant.
Right. And that's why I feel like at this point of time, as we also go through this transition from youth to adulthood, we also should like Durraca said, make as many friends as possible to also get a better perspective of ourselves, to be very honest and to be very real with everybody around us.
Is to be as confident as possible about yourself, but
Right.
yet not too overconfident whereby you think you're always right.
Right, that was me in year one.
And it's like, how to say, the biggest thing people should know, right, is that when you come into a social group, okay, let's say year one coming into a new school, everybody's like, oh shit, trying to make friends, so that they try to be very fake.
Right.
Yeah,
So
right.
when you be very fake, and then when you're trying to get actually know each other, then you start to like
Right.
reveal your true self.
Right.
Like, oh shit, doesn't work out.
Right, right.
So like the best way, right, is that you come in and just be yourself. If you're naturally introverted,
Right.
you don't dare to talk to people.
It's fine.
So
Yeah.
let yourself be introverted.
Right.
Because later, if you force yourself to be extroverted, you see something wrong.
Right. Right.
Right. If you're fake, right, then people like would like your facade.
Yeah, and
instead
not
of
you.
instead of you.
And I think it also has come down to a big point about growing up and maturing, is to really learn how to trust the right people. When you trust the right people and you trust other people, you also can depend upon them, and then you also, and that's for me what I felt that so-called unlocked my a wave of growth for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like bouncing off as much people as possible is not. It does not mean that the more friend you have,
Right.
the more you learn.
Right.
It's more like your willingness, like what Justin said. So it's like you can be friends with someone for a very long time,
Right.
and you still can learn like
Right.
every single day.
Right.
But or you can even like meet someone in camp, and
Right.
then like for that day only, then
Right.
yeah.
You know, like when your group of friends will last, right? When you all have no way to meet each other, but you still find a way to meet up.
Right.
And both parties are willing. It's not like those this always happens to people like, oh, you don't want to meet already, you want me or not, then end up nothing happens.
I think a big part of like learning to grow up is to be very teachable, and that's what I felt for me also really helped me to become better. Yeah, and I hope it has been fruitful, I guess, to really and I also believe that I'm really thankful for the people who let me grow, allow me to grow, who tell me.
You're welcome.
And Durraca, what's your final thoughts? Or what do you think today we talk about?
About life.
About life. No, we always talk about life. What's your takeaway?
Friends.
Friends?
Friends good.
No friends bad.
No friends bad.
To a certain extent, yes. Justin, what's your take?
Don't be gay.
Don't be gay.
No. Simple. There's only a few rules whereby be yourself.
Right.
Don't choose to please others before you please yourself.
Right.
And the main thing is, right, control your anger. Because
That's for you.
I'm serious. Yeah, it's really true. Like,
For some individuals, like just
for some individuals, like once you learn to control your anger, right, then it's like, oh, shit, everybody's it's so much easier. It's like, this guy please never mind.
Right.
Just live by the thing is like, it's not your problem. Then like, just end it all.
Don't be so obsessed with like the scene, you know.
If there's drama,
Yeah.
I mean, you want to find out about the drama, it's fine. It's normal human nature to find.
And it bonds people together.
Yeah, and the thing is, right,
But learn how to control your mouth also, not to like let it go out.
don't be like, oh, I don't even know this person at all.
Right.
Then he create drama with my friends, so I want to fight him.
At the same time, it's also good to also like stay in tune with like what's happening and with certain individuals, because I did get a certain warning in year 1 that I didn't listen
From who?
from somebody, and then after that I didn't listen to the warning, and then I suffered in the
They didn't pay. Hoes didn't pay.
but yeah lah.
Right.
So-
Try to be like more confident in yourself and like
Be gay.
carry yourself out in a positive way.
Right.
Don't, even though if you are like naturally, quite negative inside, like always spilling tea and stuff. Not saying like people that stupid are like negative, but
Right. That's an interesting point because individuals who are like gossipers, right? For me, my take is that if like Durraca experienced something, right, and after first thing he did is just to gossip to me, right? And then after I gossip back with him, right? And after we start gossiping, it sends me the message that Durraca is not somebody who I can trust, because if he can gossip about that person, he also can gossip about me.
The thing is, right,
And that in itself is not very good.
some people are like, oh, you gossip about this person, wow, you're a bad person, and then you do the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's the irony in it. That's why
Right.
before I always tell people all or something like that other people's opinion about them. I'm pretty sure you heard this a lot of time already.
doesn't matter.
People gossip.
Yes.
You should understand that.
Yes.
You even you do it, even though you say
Yes.
you don't like it, you yourself will still do it in a
Yes.
certain way or something. You
Yes.
might not know, but you definitely did it before. If you totally don't gossip at all,
You might not be human.
unless you're really that like in the Zen moment, you just care about yourself, you don't care about other people.
But that's not good also lah.
Yeah. Balance
Balance in everything,
Yeah.
yes. And that's how you also like become a Justin level socializer.
Right.
What do you think about my radio voice?
That's pretty good.
I can do it.
Good for you.
Okay, let me do the outro. Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in to 20 Minute Tea. Do share your thoughts in the comments or DM me. I don't know why, but yeah. Share, like, and subscribe to Prepare Share on Instagram and Spotify and YouTube. Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes. I don't know. This is the last episode,
Yes.
so
Every gay people can go hit up with DM.
full hearts, big brains, and warm cuddles. So yeah.